It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Season 11 of The Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at some potential Rick Grimes return details. Now, we don't know at this point whether these are fake or real, but everything is pointing towards them being real. So because of that, I do want to put out a spoiler alert in case there are people who don't want to know any of this, because there's a possibility that it will in fact happen. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break it down. Alright, as always, before we jump into this, smash that like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. Now, with that said, before we get further into this, I did do a video on this a few days ago, but at that time I didn't have a lot of details about the original source, and also I didn't know exactly the details, but at this point I do know the main source that all of these rumors came from, and also I do have a bit more detail about what is potentially going to be happening. Now again, spoiler alert in case you don't want to know any of this information. So with that said, let's dive into it. So all of the stuff I'm going to be talking about comes from CoveredGeekly, who actually have an internal source, unnamed internal source, who has given them this information. There is an additional detail that I will talk about near the end of the video, but these are the details so far as follows. Andrew Lincoln filmed scenes for season 11, so we'll see Rick in the final episode of the series, possibly, maybe earlier, but before he makes his comeback in the movies. The next detail, we catch up with Rick during a firefight. That is extremely interesting. Now, obviously, there's two ways it could go. Either he is in a firefight with the CRM, or he's in a firefight with other people not related to the CRM. Another thing to keep in mind is we don't know whether Rick is going to be dressed in the Civic Republic military clothing or whether he's going to be wearing civilian clothing. So there's that aspect that we don't know. And also the other thing is, even if Rick is not dressed in CRM clothing and he's not fighting the Civic Republic military, we don't necessarily know whether the people he's fighting with are related to the CRM or have any connections to the CRM. So there's that aspect to keep in mind as well. The next detail, Rick Grimes gets shot during the final season, not to death. So he's going to be injured. Again, we don't know necessarily how this injury is going to be, but it's likely that they're going to have his arc kind of go full circle in a way. His arc from the moment he left the show. So they might have him get shot and injured in the same exact spot that he was injured in from the rebar in his final episode. But obviously he's not gonna die, which makes sense. I mean, it would be bizarre to bring him back and just kill him. The next detail is clothes were rigged for gunshot scenes involving Rick Grimes. And what that means is that they had a rig on his shirt or on his clothing to have a blast impact and for blood to pour out to make the scene more realistic, as if he's actually getting shot. So that's what the rigged clothing means. Next, test footage of Andrew Lincoln in season 11 does exist and is coming our way. We don't have anything about that so far, but it seems like there is some test footage of Rick getting shot. The last detail, images of Andrew's rigged clothing exists and are coming our way. Again, we don't have anything about that either. But there are some new additional details that also came from CoveredGeekly. I will share the link to the main source in the description so you can go check it out. But the new details are that what he's filming is extremely likely, not 100%, but extremely likely to be for a post-credit scene. So after the story is done, we see a post-credit where Rick appears, which in my opinion is the one that makes the most sense, is the one that fits this story the most. The other detail is this was actually filmed early 2021, which is not matching with the time where we did see Andrew Lincoln in Atlanta with Norman Reedus, who plays Daryl Dixon. So that's interesting. But the other thing is, early 2021, there was speculation that Andrew Lincoln is going to be coming back to the United States to film for the movies. So maybe that wasn't about the movies and he did come back and it was for filming a post-credit scene for season 11. But that's pretty much everything that we know. Not much more to discuss. I've shared this before, but if they're just going to bring Rick back in a post-credit scene just to have him get shot without any major reveals or anything critical as far as telling us what happened to him, then I don't see a reason for this. I don't want to see Rick just for the sake of seeing Rick. Like, I hope that there's much more to it than just seeing Rick get shot. You know what I mean? But that's pretty much everything I wanted to share with everyone. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. Also, share your thoughts about the possibility of Rick returning in this fashion. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.